Hey, it's Kelly. Today I want to talk to you a little bit about everybody's favorite topic of discussion this time of year, which is New Year's resolutions. And I want to talk a little bit about the commitments that are involved when you're making a resolution. I don't really like to think of them as New Year's resolutions because something I like to do is give myself like a 90-day challenge. When you think of a resolution, you're thinking, this year I'm going to do this. A year's a long time to do something. It's a lot easier to accomplish goals if you set yourself challenges and goals and give them a little bit of a shorter term. So I like to do like a 90-day challenge. One of the goals I'm giving myself for this year, as I wrote about my blog earlier, is losing weight. It's something I need to do. I know I need to do it, but my commitment to it hasn't been high enough previously, and that's changed some. So let me talk to you a little about what it takes to make a commitment like this, a resolution, if that's what you want to call it, to reach a goal, to set a goal for yourself. And I'm gonna consider it as a 90-day goal. You get 3 months, 90 days. Anybody can do something for 3 months. So I like to put it in a little bite-sized chunk like that and see how I can, Anyways, so you've got 3 things to consider when you're setting some kind of goal for yourself, when you're trying to, some kind of personal development goal. There are 3 commitments you have to make. The first is an emotional commitment. The second is a time commitment. And the third is your financial commitment. So let's look at each of those. First of all, you've got your emotional commitment. And that's how bad you want it. Now looking at me with losing weight, I wrote about this a little on my blog last week or the week before. I've been overweight for years. And it's like every day I start a new 90-day commitment to, I'm going to lose weight. But in the past, I haven't really been super committed to it because I was healthy. I'm fat. I mean, it's not a secret to me. I'm sure it's not a secret to anybody else. I'm overweight. But I've always been healthy. My doctor told me my blood pressure, all that stuff, everything was great. He said, you're carrying a little extra weight, but it's not hurting you. That little bit of extra weight has increased over the last few years significantly. And it's not just a little bit of extra weight anymore, it's a lot of extra weight. And it's hurting me, it's hurting my health. So my commitment, it's no longer a point of, I want to fit into these jeans still. Now it's a point of, I want to be able to breathe better. I want to live to see my grandkids. So I've got a much higher commitment level. I'm much more emotionally committed to seeing this challenge through. So that right there, that gives you the more emotionally committed you are to your goal, the higher the odds are that you're gonna succeed with it. So when you're looking at when you're setting your goal, you want to give yourself something. You have to determine, when you're determining what the end result of your goal is going to be, you have to look at how emotionally committed are you to this goal, on a scale of 1 to 10, where 10 is you'll kill or die to do it. I mean, maybe not literally, but you know what I'm saying. So that's the first part. The second part is your time commitment. Now you've got 168 hours every week. 7 or 8 or 9 of those every day you're going to sleep. If you have another job, if you have a full-time job, you've got 8 or 10 hours there every day, 5 days a week, 6 days a week, whatever your deal is. So you look at your remaining time, look at your other commitments, kids, exercise, pets, groups, whatever it is that you do, and see how much time you've got left each day that you can devote to reaching this goal. Do you have an hour? You have 2 hours? You have 3 hours? The key here is to have a certain amount of time that is sacred to you, and that every single day you're going to devote this time to doing this task, to taking action that's going to lead you towards this goal. In my case, with losing weight, I'm going to say 30 minutes a day is going to be sacred, and I'm going to set a time of day that every day, without fail, nothing can come between me and say 1:30 and 2 p.m. that I'm going to be on the treadmill getting my exercise in, and it's got to be untouchable. Once you decide how much time you've got, how much time you're willing to devote to this commitment that you're making, devote towards reaching your goal, you've got to do it. If your goal is making money, making money online, you might want to increase your email list. Then you have to say, how much time am I going to spend every day reaching out to people, making connections, doing ads, whatever it is that you're doing to build your list. You've got to look at how much time do you have to spend, and then you've just got to make that time sacred and schedule it in every single day and do it. No excuses. Take action and do it. The third of these 3 key commitments is your financial commitment. Not all of your goals, not all goals are going to take money. For me, my investment in this is already made. I've already got a treadmill. Buying food, I do that every week anyway, so that's not going to be that big a deal. Although I am going to be spending more at the grocery store instead of eating out, but actually that ought to even out a little. So, like going back to the other idea, increasing your leads, increasing your email list, you may decide to do some paid ads. You have to decide if that's the road you're going to take, how much money do you have to spend on it. Whatever your goal is, whatever the goal is that you're setting for yourself, you have to look at it and say, is this something that's going to take money? And if it is, how much money do I have to invest in it? Like, I'm in the Empower Network. If you want to start making money online, you've got to look, and you want to do with Empower Network, you got to look, what are the costs of joining Empower Network? This is how much I'm going to invest every month. I'm going to invest in the training. I'm going to be buying books, online books, e-zines or ebooks for inspirational reading. I want to listen to some Tony Robbins recordings while I'm driving to work. These are costs that you're going to have, things that you're going to spend money on, and you've got to decide, how much money am I going to have on a monthly basis that I can devote towards reaching this goal of mine? Whether it's your advertising, whether it's exercise equipment or a gym membership or your advertising, whatever it is that you're going to do. But you've got to consider those, because if you don't take that stuff into consideration beforehand, if you don't consider your emotional commitment, if you're not really emotionally committed to reaching your goal, if you don't have the time, if you haven't set aside the time that it's going to take to reach that goal, and if you realize halfway in you can't afford to do what you're doing, you're going to give up. So you need to plan these things out ahead of time. You need to know what you're getting into and how you're going to do it. And those are the 3 things that it's going to take. The emotional commitment, the time commitment, and the financial commitment. My mind went completely blank. I felt like the governor from Texas in the middle of a debate. So that's it. Those are the 3 things. That's what I want to talk about today. I hope that helped you get started on your whatever it is, your goal that you're reaching for this year. Take it in bites of 90 days. Make it manageable for yourself. Keep those 3 things in mind. Make sure that you've got things ready to go before you get started so that you aren't setting yourself up to fail. Make sure that you set yourself up to succeed, that you've got what you need in order to reach your goal. And if weight loss is your goal, this Friday I'm going to be doing a Google Hangout with some friends, and we're going to talk about goals that we can set to help us reach, to help us start eating healthier, to lose weight, and just general have healthier lifestyles going into the new year. So if you're interested, keep an eye out on the blog, and I'll be talking again to you soon.